That wasn't shit.
What up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Nasty Nate, stunt rider, motivational speaker. I've got another mindset video for you guys throughout the bike life journey. I heard from my mentor, Wes Watson, say, share what works for you. And so I started pulling some inspiration from some of the things that I've been through on the journey. And a couple years ago in 2021, I went through like a memory dump on Instagram when I was laying up one night just thinking, and I'm going to take you guys through it and kind of take you through the journey, what I was thinking, some of the stuff that I had going on. So let's just jump into it. So I started this at 3:09 a.m. on November 21st, 2021. Stop thinking about it and do it. A lot of people don't understand you can relieve most of your fear and anxiousness by action. Everyone thinks you have to have the dream before you feel good. These are the people that wish for it more than they work for it. Start working for it. If it's truly what you want, just start doing it and your life will change. They will completely change your life. So stop thinking about it and do it, okay? The mental strains that you feel, the anxiousness of, it's destination syndrome is really what it comes down to. So once I get here, I'll be happy, right? Once I feel like I'm worthy because I've accomplished something, once I have a certain amount of money, once I'm able to do a certain trick, once I have a certain sponsor, once I'm at a certain status as a rider, I'll be happy and this will all feel good. It's a big fucking mistake for people to think that, because it's actually, until you get to a place where you're like, kind of like, wow, I feel like I've kind of done something. I feel like I'm kind of satisfied. Until you got to that place, you don't realize that all the shit that you went through and the journey and all the adversity and all the hiccups, that was actually the best part, right? So when I put on a Roo Rock helmet and they sponsor me and, I squeeze a Magura lever and I squeeze an RSC clutch and I gripped the RSC handlebars, like none of that would have meant shit if I didn't earn it. None of that would have meant shit if I didn't come to a point in my couple points in my riding career that I was like, I had to make a decision. Am I going to quit or am I going to keep going? Am I going to let this situation stop me, right? Am I going to let this drain me of all my money and just say, fuck it and throw it all away? Those are the moments that make putting on the helmet, squeezing the brake and squeezing the trigger feel good. Not the accomplishment itself. And you have to get to a certain point to understand this. But I think the basis of what I was getting at with this whole photo memory dump thing on my story was that just fucking do it, right? You don't have to know you don't even have to know the next step. The next step of the journey, the next step on the tightrope is making the move. That finding out what the next step is, that is becoming successful. That is success. It's just finding the next step. So you don't got to know everything, and I'm going to show you why. So just start, right? Just do it. In 2012, within a year riding, I went from fast wheelies to buying a 636. If I would have never got a bike in the first place, I would have never met Joel, who put me on to riding and working on bikes. So this red bike right here was the cleanest. I know I've said that a lot, but the cleanest 636 I've ever had. It was a one owner, 8,000 mile red one. Just the most beautiful bike. All the stickers and everything were there. There was no scratches. It had the original tires on it. It was the cleanest bike. But Joel was a good buddy of mine. I met Joel. I got invited from Red Door Meet to go out to a lot or something, and ended up talking to Joel. Ended up becoming good friends with him. He taught me how to work on bikes. Nobody turned wrenches in my house, so everything that I've learned is all from Joel, from Sean, a couple other guys, and YouTube and reading the owner's manual. So I literally had just purchased this bike when this picture was taken. I just literally had bought it, and I was adjusting the clip-ons to turn them out so I could wheelie it. The black 636 on the left was the first 636 I ever had. I ended up wrecking that one, and that was my first stunt bike. And the red one obviously was just so fresh. Commuter. So after I wrecked the bike, this was what was left. I took the fairings off. Joel helped me take the fairings off. I flipped the clip-ons, and it was a stunt bike now, right? So I had to have other people pick me up because I didn't have a way to get my bike to the lot. So I would call everyone I knew with a truck every weekend for a ride. Just start, right? What do a lot of guys do? I don't have a way to get my bike to the lot. I can't put in work. If you really, really want it, you will find a way. I actually would most of the time just ride it with no plates or no VIN or no anything, no insurance, and I would just ride it. It used to take me 2 hours to change a battery. No one in my house ever turned a wrench. I either figured it out or I didn't ride. I worked 2 jobs, 12-hour days, and ended it in the garage working on my bike. It literally used to take me 2 hours to change a battery because I had no idea what I was doing. Like I said, nobody showed me how to turn a wrench. I didn't know the difference between a socket and a crescent wrench, and literally knew nothing about turning wrenches. But the alternative was to not ride. That wasn't an option. So I either figured it out or I didn't ride. It was that simple. I worked 2 jobs. I worked 12-hour days. I either worked on the bike and got it to run after work, or it didn't run at all. And again, that wasn't an option. So I didn't know everything I needed to know, but I fucking did it anyways. This is actually when my boy Tim helped me put a 12 bar on the subframe. I want y'all to keep in mind we have no idea what we're doing. We didn't. We took the subframe off. We used a drill press. It took 8 fucking hours to get this 12 bar on, when I know now it takes, 20 minutes max when you just use a regular drill. Yeah, the shit you learn when you have no idea what you're doing. I love this process. Even when I was doing this, I was celebrating like I won a world title. This is the first day doing seat standers. I'll let it play. There's no sound, unfortunately. I just remember this being one of the best feelings. Like I says, I was worried about what I was doing. I love this shit so much. I wasn't looking at what other people were doing. I didn't care that I sucked. I fucking loved it. I loved it. There's nothing that I've ever done that I felt this way about. It was an incredible feeling. Just being a squid was an incredible feeling. That's how I knew this shit was for me. This is my second run-in with the law within a year of riding. The bike got impounded, didn't care, got it out the next day, kept it moving. Just do it, right? I was actually ripping up and down the highway doing power wheelies, and this cop was following me the whole time, and I had no idea. I took an exit to actually go meet up with Joel and Sean at the lot, and as soon as I took the exit, stopped at a red light to turn right, he pinned me up against the curb. Didn't have any of the credentials I needed, no endorsement, no insurance, whatever. It was speeding, doing wheelies. They impounded the bike, but like I said, got a ride, paid for it to get out, rode it the next day, kept it moving. This is a third run-in with the law. Same thing. You see the red vines right there? What the hell? This cop was following us for like 20 minutes on the highway. We were ripping up the highway. And funny enough, same idea. This is a couple, maybe weeks later. No credentials, no insurance, no endorsement. I asked the cop, hey, if my boy goes and gets his truck, can we load the bike in the truck and will you not take it? He said, sure. We loaded the bike in the truck, drove it around the corner, waited for the cop to leave, unloaded it, and then went on our ride. Sad moment, bro. I wrecked the nicest bike ever. And this was, and I kind of live by this area right now, but I was taking this off ramp, and it was a 45 mile per hour off ramp, and I think I took it at like 80 or 90. Slid out, lost control, and I had no idea about wrecking bikes and rebuilding bikes or anything like that at the time. And I thought that this thing, because it looked like this, was just done. It was trash. It was, I had to move on from it. I took some of the fairings that weren't fucked up off and literally parted out the rest. Dumbest decision I made. I sold the motor for $500, 8,000 miles. That motor would still be running this day if I didn't let go of it. No more fast bikes, lot only. I was hungry. Are y'all riding or hiding? I had no results. Couldn't even wheelie at this time, other than the small seat stainer that you guys saw. But I was out there more than anybody. So pumped to ride tomorrow with the homies. Couldn't even wheelie, and I was pumped to ride. I couldn't street wheelie. It was like riding streets the next day, I think. But this just is kind of a testament to how much I love this. I was literally washing and getting this piece of shit, and no disrespect to the bike, but I was getting this piece of shit bike prepared and washed up and looking nice. When again, I had no results. I couldn't wheelie. I was the squid. I was the new guy, and I took it so serious. Like I was out there. I was in the mix because I knew I was gonna be, and I was right. So this is a big moment right here. This one. My brother got me into photography, and I got my first sponsor. Crown Clothing from New York was my first sponsor. My brother was the one that actually got me into photography, and I have a video where I talk about how I worked for Icon and the journey with my brother. He was like, man, we got to document this shit, bro. You got to get a camera. And I had no idea what I was doing. Everything about the camera, the editing that you guys see was all self-taught with my brother and I learning how to do it together. And in 2014, on November 6th, I said, just trying to make a name for myself. That was my only goal. My only goal when I got into this game was to make a name for myself. That was it. I didn't care about anything else. Didn't care about sponsors. Didn't care about likes. Didn't care about followers. Didn't care about none of the shit. And this is when life was good, before social media took over everything. All I said was, I want to make a name for myself. After I'm done writing, I just want people to say something positive about what I left for this game. This was a spot me and my brother used to break the lock and push the fence down. We used to have to push the bike down a gravel hill to get to this graffiti spot. We knew we were up to something, and it had to be documented. That was it. We only wanted to document the process, and I'm really glad we did. Then there could have been no more Nasty Nate. 2015, if you guys have been following me, a lot of you have since then. This was the accident, right? This was that big moment when I had to decide, am I going to keep going? My body's fucked up. No bike. At this point, I'm pending criminal charges. I've got medical bills out the yin yang. And as fucked up as this was one of the best things that could have happened to me, because it's in the moment when you have to decide, am I going to allow this to break me? And once you make that decision and you get back on, or you get back up, or whatever it is that you're facing, you overcome, you become a whole fucking different person. Wore a slipper on my right foot for 6 months because my ankle was so swollen I couldn't wear a shoe. I was literally wearing a slipper in court and a dress shoe on the other foot. Picture of the road rash. Couldn't keep me off the bike. No bike. Was borrowing bikes at the lot. Still going up to the lot. Still driving 3 hours to go hang out with people just to watch them ride and to possibly get a chance to get on their bike. Cast on. Couldn't keep me off. It's a video of me fucking around in the grocery store. No matter how bad it got, I always kept a good attitude. It's because I loved it, and I knew I was going to come back. While I was laid up in bed, not able to move or walk, these were my thoughts. This is what I love to do and what I believe I was born for. When I told people I wouldn't stop until it killed me, I meant it. I'm not scared of what happened. I will be more cautious when I'm back, but I will still kill shit. And I did. When I told people I wouldn't stop until it killed me, I meant it. I'm not scared of what happened. This is a crazy thing to read from shit 8 years ago. So a lot of times people hit me up because they know about the accident. I personally display it a lot because it shows the overcoming in the journey, and I think it's very inspirational for people. And people will hit me up all the time. Yo, what do? I got in an accident. What was your mindset getting back to it? How do I overcome fear? And I don't really have an answer And I know that sounds shitty because a lot of people ask me, but there was no question in my mind whether I was getting back on this bike. And I think what was the most important thing after this accident that could have taken me out was the belief. And you can see it right here. When I told people I wouldn't stop until it killed me, I meant it. This is what I love to do, and I believe I was born for. I believed that this is what I was born for. And within that belief, there was no question, because if I'm born for this, nothing can stop me and I have to keep going, right? I had fully convinced myself that there was no other option. So there was no fear. I didn't have PTSD. I didn't think, oh my God, what if this happens again? It never, ever even crossed my mind. And I'm being 100% transparent with you guys. It never, ever crossed my mind whether I was going to quit. And it also never crossed my mind whether it was even going to happen again, or I had any type of fear towards the accident or the bike or riding at all. It was just what I was born to do, right? I got back on and started turning it up. I did. This was within a couple months after I was cleared to ride. Cleared by me. My first goal. So when I first started riding the street bike, I started watching the Street Fighters and watching the how to wheelie videos and all that type of stuff. And I was super inspired by these guys and I wanted to be just like them. And then in 2015, this is within the same year of the accident, I got in a Street Fighter edit on their YouTube. It was a big moment for me. I'm right there with Veggie in pursuit. Second goal, jump the high chair. This is one of the craziest moments I think I've ever experienced. It was an incredible feeling. I built my first bike 90% on my own. Like I said, nice bike. Built my first nice bike 90% on my own. Like I said, nobody in my family turned wrenches. I didn't know how to turn a wrench. I got some help with the motor, got it all cleaned out, clutch, valves, throttle body sync, all that kind of stuff. But all the powder coating, I broke the bike down, got it powder coated, put it all back together. It's you find out who you are when you want something, right? Who are you? What are you willing to go through? What are you willing to learn? What obstacles are you gonna let stop you or not let stop you when you want something? And I wanted to build this bike. This was a dope moment. The camera led me to living another dream, making content for Icon. A lot of people know, some people don't. I did work for Icon in 2017 or 18, one of the two. I worked for Icon. My boy Joel that I showed you guys in the first slide, he worked at Icon. He built the bikes there. And I remember telling him, he used to give me tours and let me meet the people and everything. And he put this like idea in my head just by him showing me around, that I was like, man, I told him, I said, hey, I want to work here. And he was like, you don't have any experience at all. At that point, I was very fucking amateur when it came to the camera. And he's like, you don't have any experience, this, and that. And we have to take degrees, right? Everyone's like, have to have a college degree or film school or whatever. And this was a seed that was planted in my mind. And it ended up being like 2 or 3 years later, Icon needed a second shooter. I volunteered for free, showed up at the event, shot the event. And funny enough, I did this trick and I gave this game out on another YouTube video. I shot and I kept the SD card, and I said that I forgot to give them the SD card. So I had to go to Icon so they could download the footage, and I got to meet the head videographer, hang out with him, chop it up with him for 45 minutes, an hour while all the footage downloaded, and got to planting the seed in their head that I wanted to help out more often, wanted to work there. But like I said, I was so amateur at that time. They ended up offering me an internship, which was fucking crazy. Like I said, because I'm self-taught. I taught myself. My brother and I taught ourselves how to do all this shit. So it's just incredible to work at a place and make content that's on their YouTube, on their Instagram, from a guy that's self-taught. I was not supposed to be in that room, right? I was knocking on doors I had no fucking business knocking on, just because of the fact that I was hungry and I didn't take fucking no for an answer. Oh, I'm just showing this video that I made at Icon. Post it on their page, Icon 1000. Oh, this is me wrecking again. Oh, and again. And again. Street riders and corporate companies. This is a big moment, bro. So I know that EBC is supporting some other guys now that ride streets, but in 2020, I was sponsored by EBC. Initially, when I reached out to them, told them who I was, told them my story, and they loved it. And it was just a big moment because everyone had been telling me my whole career, the money's in the lot, the sponsors are in the lot, you got to stay in the lot, you got to ride a certain way. And I never gave a fuck, right? I just did my thing. I did what felt right for me, and it paid off, right? This is a corporate company, which is crazy to think that, you know, the way they support the way that I ride, which I was really proud of that. Videos for Magura, street riders and corporate companies. Another huge moment, right? Magura sponsors Aaron Colton, you know, a couple other guys. All these guys ride the lot, right? You got to ride the lot. That's where all the sponsors are. No one fucks with the street riders. Proved them wrong, right? 2 corporate companies supporting a street rider. Big moment. Goal number 3. You know what it is. Coasters. Oh, man. Big moment for me. An article on the EBC website. This was crazy. This is fucking cool. Portland-based stunt rider needs a sturdy clutch and brakes to keep his wild riding style. Love that. That was a big moment. That was a big moment. Tired and mentally broken, I never folded. I was going through a lot of shit in my personal life at this time. But I never lost the vision. This was we were at a shoot right here that we put together. I just wanted to make content. I just wanted to make content. I just wanted to ride. And I was fucking, you can see it. I'm tired. I'm skinny as fuck. Was dieting super hard. But like I said, tired and never folded. Built my dream bike. Always wanted a gray bike with red forks, red accents. We built it during COVID. Biggest goal. Jumped a high chair on the highway, bang limiter. Bigger companies. Got sponsored by Rock. It was 2021, I think Rock picked me up, so 2 years ago, or 2022, one of them, I can't remember. So something I want to say about this is, and I've said it before, the helmet, grabbing the clutch, having all these parts, it doesn't mean shit if you don't earn it. It doesn't mean shit if you don't go through adversity. It means nothing. What makes putting on this helmet so sweet, what makes having 10 helmets in my garage or 8 helmets, what makes having all these helmets in my garage so sweet is what I went through in order to fucking earn this, right? Nobody can say. People talk a lot of shit, right? People on the internet, people at the law, people in the game, whatever. People talk a lot of shit. Oh, he's just a, and this isn't about me, but this is some shit I hear. Oh, he's a screenshot stunner, whatever. Only post videos, can't do it. Well, I don't care. Nobody has ever taken what I have earned from me. No one has ever said, if you like me, if you don't like me, it doesn't matter. Nobody has ever said that I didn't earn everything that I have on this bike. Why? Because my fucking skill is undeniable. The work that I put in is undeniable, and the results that I got are undeniable. The parts nobody wants to hear. This is very fucking important, and these are what I'm talking about. These are the moments that I'm talking about that make the sponsorships, that make the goals, that make the bikes, that make the helmets, the clutches, and everything so sweet. I invested over 100,000 in this game. That's true. 10 bikes, now 11. Court cases and hospital bills. The sponsors don't mean anything compared to what I've been through in the last 8 years. Now it's been 10. You could never put a monetary value on the emotional tie that I have to this bike. I never placed value on the results. I placed value on the work, period. I don't need to say anything else. Moral of the story, just do shit. All I ever wanted to do was ride my bike. Nothing else that came along with it was part of the plan. Not any type of money, not any type of sponsors, not the camera, not the speaking, not the podcast, none of this. The best part of the journey is that I love this shit so much, I felt like I just woke up one day and there I was. Moral of the story, just do shit. All I ever wanted to do was ride my bike. Nothing else came along with it was part of the plan. Not any type of money, not the sponsors, not the camera, not the speaking, not the podcast, none of this. The best part of the journey is that I love this shit so much, I felt like I just woke up one day and there I was. I'm that guy, not because I'm doing shit other people aren't capable of. I'm that guy because I did shit you're not willing to do. 4 a.m. thoughts. This is very powerful. Talent is irrelevant, right? Height, God-given ability, all these things that people talk about are fucking irrelevant. I outworked. I don't even care to compare myself when people say, "Oh, I outwork everybody." It's not something I care about. I just went to a place mentally from all the adversity. And I went to a place mentally when I was fucking scared of doing tricks. I went to a place mentally when I was fearful of going to jail, or I was, again, fearful of injury, all these things. I just went to a place that not many people are willing to go. And that's why I got the results that I have. There's nothing special about me, which means that you can do it too. If you're willing to go to that fucking place that's dark and scary and you feel alone, and I know this is deep just for bike life, but this is what worked for me. This is how I unlocked all these things. This is how I unlocked this skill, is that I went to war with the part of me that was stopping me to get to where I want to go. So all I really wanted to do with this video was, again, share what worked for me and hopefully inspire you guys. If you like this video, share it with a friend, like, subscribe, comment, do all the things.